terminar con esto esta noche. Llegas demasiado tarde. ¿Por qué Japón?
Porque tu nación prospera con la estabilidad. Rompiéndola.
Dos neutralizados.
La red de hecho de Tokio se ha colapsado.
Hospitales, aeropuertos, hilera de servicio está coordinado. Esta es la fase 2.
Japón se arrodillará. Fase 3 comienza. Al amanecer.
Localiza su posición. Voy a terminar con esto esta noche. Llegas demasiado. ¿Por qué Japón?
Porque tú prosperas con la estabilidad y nosotros prosperamos rompiéndola.
Fase 2 neutralizada. Colapsado. Hospitales, aeropuertos, ferrocarriles fuera de servicio. Esto está coordinado. Esta es la fase.
El mismo sindicato. Japón se arrodillará. Fase 3 comienza al amanecer.
Lista su posición. Voy a terminar con él.
Even this signature project of this thing, was there competitive bidding? Was there any EOI done? Was what actually happened? But it's, of course, some people went ahead and they're doing it and all that. The point really is simple. And we have to face that fact. State capture. What is state capture? It is when all the different arms of government are now subservient to the executive. That is exactly where we are.
So
it does not mean that
some of you are now.
it does not mean that some of us are not saying no, this is wrong.
Your voices
or
are
this
drowned.
Is yeah, of course. If it's drowned, well, that I didn't elect them into the National Assembly. It is their people who elected them, and it is their people who we decide.
So
My
that-
people in Abia South, well, they
there
know
are-
my record, they know how I vote, and I talk to them about it.
So there are things that you are unhappy with about the policies.
Obviously, there are so many things that
which
we
you
are
voted
happy with,
against,
which
but
we will say.
Or you
no.
just had your
Okay,
say,
we'll put
or you
it-
couldn't have your way.
I will tell you one of them.
Colapsado.
On the day
Hospitales,
that they did
aeropuertos, ferrocarriles.
the voting for state of emergency, you recall that we walked out, 3 of us, when we
Esta es la fase.
insisted that it couldn't be by voice vote because Section 305 is very specific on what you do. You have to have 2/3 of the membership of the national of the Senate, but voice vote will never tell you whether it's 2/3 or 1/3 or so forth, or 3/4 or whatever. And we said, no, this is wrong. But then, majority carried the day.
But the Supreme Court has vindicated the president's decision to say he has the powers under Section 308 of the Constitution, 305 of the Constitution.
I've never blamed the president, never on that matter. I blame the National Assembly. You see, everybody has their role.
Terminar con esto esta noche.
The role of the National Assembly is after the president has made a decision, it comes to us, who will now examine it and determine how it will be done.
Moment, Senator. Sorry about that. We'll take a break, and when we return, we'll take a break, and when we return after the break, the Nnamdi Kanu case, the political dialogue in the Southeast, and Kanu case, the political dialogue in the Southeast, and what Senator Abaribe thinks Nigeria must do to prevent deeper national divisions. Don't go anywhere. That gets our attention. Don't go anywhere. That gets our attention. After this break. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. We've been discussing. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. We've been discussing the state of the nation, from budget implementation and insecurity to the economy, governance under the President Bola Tinubu administration. And with us on the program, Senator Ayinaya Abaribe, representing Abia South in the National Assembly, has been speaking. Representing Abia South in the National Assembly has been speaking with us, a former face of the opposition, who is now a minority, face of the opposition, who is now a minority in the minorities of the Senate. Thank you, Senator, of the Senate. Thank you, Senator.
We're going to translate into the majority very soon.
To this side of the aisle.
Translate into the majority very
to this
soon.
side of the aisle. I
was on that side of the aisle.
Yes, you were.
I was on that side of the aisle.
Yes, you were. And in fact, one person that reminds me popularly, and there is a particular seat where he used to sit. It was Femi Bajabiamila.
Okay.
And it's interesting. Each time I look at old videos of the National Assembly, you see places where people see it as those who are major opposition voices when PDP were minority voices when PDP was in power, and you see how everything just moved.
Change, yes. Well, people say, the world turns round. So you may be here today, find yourself the other way. Tomorrow.
But if your words could serve as a word of a prophet, tonight, you are saying tonight You were saying and you were speaking because as it is right now with age and your status, in this country, you have become more or less in this country. You have become more or less an elder statesman and a wise man. And we should be careful that come out of the mouth of people like you because you've seen it all. You are so confident that this government is not going to return in 2027.
Very confident. Very confident. For a very simple reason.
Are you living in a bubble?
I'm not living. For a very simple reason.
Are you living in a bubble?
I'm not living in a bubble. It is the government in a bubble. It is the government that is living in a bubble. The next elections will be that is living in a bubble. The next elections will be APC versus the people of Nigeria. Go to all parts of Nigeria. There is nowhere that people are not hurting.
But why are people defecting? Because your
hurting.
But why are people defecting? Because your assertion tonight is totally a departure from the realities of the heavyweight and the big wigs. The governor of Taraba only yesterday defected from Delta to Enugu, from Enugu to Bayelsa. I mean, people are defecting on the day, and you saw what happened on the floor. You are left alone. Like
we're not alone. You see, half of those people you see in the majority party are hurting inside, and they are asking us, do quick and give us the leeway where we will move. I'm telling you that this collection of all manners of people into the issue is what will lead to its downfall, and it will. It's listen, at a particular point, I think PDP was how many states? 28 states out of 36. And everybody said, oh, it was all over. And even the PDP secretary, chairman at that time said, we're going to rule forever. Where are they today? It will happen.
But let's assume that President Bola Tinubu calls you today.
Yes.
To welcome you and to invite you. You know, that man has some very strong powers, persuasive power. He's one of the brightest politicians in our country today. If he calls you today and welcomes and asks you to come to APC, what would you say to him?
I will give him all the conditions and he can fulfill it. First of all, you must see all your policies, all the policies that punish Nigerians, you reverse them. That is number one. Number two, you cut down your government. Number three, you rein in all the people around you. Number four, look, there are so many things we will tell him. It's up to him what he's going to do. So you don't run a government the way it is run. This is not a monarchy. This is a democracy.
If it is not Bola Tinubu, who could it be? Is there a savior that we could look up to in 2020?
There are too many Nigerians who are democratic, who can run this country, who can do the best for them.
Like Peter Obi?
Like Peter Obi. But you just took it out of my mouth. Yes.
Is it going to be your candidate?
He will be my candidate. All of us are going to somewhere, and it is when we get there, then we cross that hurdle. But the point is, when you look at somebody's antecedents, you look at how the person carries himself. Throughout, Peter Obi was governor. Did you ever hear about his children? Did you ever hear about his wife?
Is it a country about president's children?
No, this is a country. This is not a monarchy. And I continue to say this. This is a democracy.
What do you want the president to do to his children? To send them away on exile?
No.
Or to do
No. Put them in the public. You don't let them continue to use state resources. Never done. You don't. You don't like
the manner in which he controls his home. The
point is not him. Okay. It is the way the whole government has turned into a KBAC government. So the president can do no wrong. Anything that he says, oh, we agree, no, that's not how you run a government. You run a government by people challenging your views. Right now, any view challenging the view of government is seen as treason.
And those of you who are not standing on the mandate, you are standing on nothing.
I don't think the people who are standing on the mandate really enjoy standing.
But you like that song on your mandate. You like that song.
I've never sung it and I will never sing it.
But you stand up when they sing it. When they bring the budget to the National Assembly.
When they bring the budget,
a second national
just a moment. When they bring the budget to the National Assembly, we stand up for the Nigerian national anthem.
And then the mandate song.
If people decide to play the mandate song, check where I sit down. I don't follow them.
Yes. Well, Senator, let me ask you. The budget, I've certainly become a budget illiterate, an economic illiterate in the face of what we're seeing today in the country. And they present this thing to you, and you're
not an economic illiterate. What you're seeing is that the figures that are presented are different from the realities. Okay, so somebody, the same government told us, I think sometime by either June or July, we have already surpassed our projections for the year. By the end of the year, we'll be in a surplus. Yet, 2024 budget estimates have not been completed by December of 2025. 2025 has not even come. Now we're being told that the budget that will come to us, it will be slashed by 70% is going to go to 2026, and only 30% will be left. That will be implemented when? It will be implemented in 2026.
Today is December 15th.
That's what I'm saying. So it will never be implemented this year. So that means the whole of 2025 will not be implemented in 2025. And somebody now gets up and tells you, the government, their economic managers, they're doing so well. I mean, the evidence is clear in front of every Nigerian that they are not economic, but they are economic illiterates. Only manufacturing figures to use to confuse the public.
How do you describe the Tinubu economic approach? How would you describe it?
What do you mean? Is economic? Because I don't know what the economic approach is.
Are you also confused?
I'm as confused as you. Because we sit down, we get a budget, and then we are all running around, and everybody's moving around like a headless chicken. You don't know exactly what is going on.
The major problem here is capital releases, and I don't know why that.
So the point really is very simple. Why would releasing of capital be an issue? Right. You've made a budget. If you have the revenue for that budget, then you release according to, the timelines and the procedures that you have brought out. But it's now how do you put it now, waiting for Godot. Everybody's waiting. You're not sure. It will be today. Local contractors had to go to protest and all that. So you tell me, how would these wonderful economic managers get to the point where a whole year's budget could not be implemented that year? And people tell me that they know what they're doing. They actually don't know what they're doing. All they're doing now, I think, is that they're just going along. It comes today, find somebody to explain this, find somebody to explain that. Meanwhile, check the spendings they're doing in their personal lives.
Senator, give me a moment. We'll take another break and we'll close after we return from this break.
With AI,
You can create any character you want in seconds.
this used to require huge
Prospera con la habilidad y nos esperamos romper.
Share it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, your frenemies.
Fase 2 neutralizada por ahora.
La red de hecho de Tokio se ha colapsado.
Tell them to join us.
Colapsado.
This should be interesting.
Ferrocarriles
So thank you.
fuera de
So tonight, we also want to delve into two trending kind of like a
esta es
topics.
la
The first one is the partial ban on Nigerians by the United States of America's president, United States of America's government, banning Nigerians from traveling or emigrating to the United States of America, and all of possibly the few confusions around that. We may be able to, clear that. The other one is the big lie that Ifnubu told 2 months ago when he bragged in front of his separate singers, court jesters, that he's already met his 2025 revenue target as far back as August. So meaning there is a possible prosperity for Nigeria and Nigerians. Therefore, you shouldn't really worry about whatever Donald Trump was doing. This was 2 months ago, right? But just 2 days ago, the Tinubu's ministers, the finance, as well as the economic planning, something, national economy, whatever, economy planning minister, Bagudu, they appeared before the National Assembly budget something committee, who were asking them about how far your record is completely imbalanced. And if you claimed that you already met your revenue target for 2025 as far back as August, what is going on? This doesn't really correlate because your budget performance for 2025 is so below, is so low. They say, yeah. Well, the problem was that we didn't meet our revenue target. In fact, we missed it by over 70%. Nigeria's 2025 budget is like 51 trillion. That's it. However, they planned, according to them, they planned to generate revenue to the tune of at least 40 trillion. They were planning to borrow 10 trillion, and God knows. So it's obvious that they didn't meet that. So what they said about that, I'm going to share with you. So we are going to start with the new partial ban on Nigerians. I have seen people who have been trying to make mockery of this in the sense that when Donald Trump, when the America waded into this terrorism issue in Nigeria, and they added Nigeria, should I say, they designate Nigeria as a country of particular interest, this time because of the killings of Christians in Nigeria. So to mount pressure on the government officials, the government of Nigeria, from all levels, right, at all levels, to do the right thing and end this madness. So it was like, country of particular concern. The citizens are not going to be affected. It will be the government officials, because once they begin to roll out the sanctions, okay, they will be the most affected. Then they were like, oh, hang on,
esta suposición. Voy a terminar con esto esta noche.
If America also stopped their aid to Nigeria, what does that even mean? It simply means
Llegas
the
demasiado
vulnerable people
tarde.
who needed this help, or who uses this help, if they are actually getting help, right? So the vulnerable people that need this help will be denied this simply because of the actions of those in government. I'm trying to speak in the third person now. Show you get like how people are kind of reacting when this thing started about 2 months ago. Okay.
Por Japón.
So Donald Trump, they went as further as, allowing a conversation between Nigeria and the United States. Enough that some even suggested that the reason why Nigeria is being disrespected or treated this way was simply because Nigeria had no ambassadors to the United States.
If you do absolutely nothing, AI might take your job.
This class isn't about writing prompts.
You know your job better than anyone. When you shift your thinking about AI, you can make 10 times the impact you normally would.
This is how you become an AI-first leader at work.
You're going to walk away from this class with a new way of thinking about AI.
Esta es la fase 2.
You'll start to treat it like a digital companion.
I know it feels right now, you have little control. You have more agency than you realize.
We're going to audit our own job that's broken down your tasks and given you a sense of which ones you should let go and start automating with AI and which ones we should lean into as humans.
Regardless of what happens with AI, you have figured out a way to make yourself indispensable.
I'm Contact at NYU Stern School of Business.
I'm Nicole Bradford. I've worked in emerging technologies for 20 years.
I'm Amy Webb, CEO of Future Today's Strategy Group and a professor of strategic foresight at the New York University Stern School of Business. And this is Masterclass.
I've wanted to do a class with Masterclass my whole life.
Estabilidad y nosotros prosperamos rompiéndola.
Fase 2 neutral. Por ahora.
La red de Tokio se ha colapsado.
Colapsado. Hospitales, aeropuertos, ferrocarriles fuera de servicio. Esto está coordinado. E2.
Indicando. Ponce a arrodillará. Fase 3 comienza la
Then, surprisingly, Nigeria got
Cali.
to the countries, not just the countries of particular concern, this
Esto es
again, right? Country of security concerns. And this time, it's not just government officials, the citizens themselves. So Nigeria is partially, because this kind of proclamation kind of will be reviewed, terminally, so to say. So they announced that Nigerians who have, Nigerian Americans to start with, the Nigerian Americans who have
Con la
their own American passport or green card and the rest of that, who want to apply for their relatives in Nigeria to join them, like those who want to go and bring their spouses, families, or what have you, from January, right, those families will not get their visa going to America. And those of you who want to go, like maybe, you know, you have to, you're sitting for a particular exam this